Cherries. They are the perfect summer fruit. Sweet, sour, and tart. But there's a lot about this fruit that you may not know. So here are top 10 things you do not know about cherries. 1. Cherry blossoms are cherry trees that do not produce cherries. If you have been to Washington, D.C. or Central Park in New York during the early spring, you must have enjoyed the cherry blossom. Cherry blossoms are the national flower of Japan. There are many varieties of such flower as they are highly prized in Japan. However, those cherry tree flowers do not produce edible cherries. The edible cherry trees are related to those flowering cherry trees. 2. There are many varieties of cherries. There are 2 types of cherries, sour cherries and sweet cherries. In the supermarket, cherries are usually sweet cherries from Washington. Sour cherries are not sweet. They are tart, smaller, with softer fleshes. They become very delicious when cooked with sugar and honey, so can usually be used in pie fillings and jams. Yum! You probably have seen this type of dark red sweet cherry from Washington and Oregon. They are Bing cherries. They are named after a Chinese immigrant named Ah Bing. He worked in a family orchard in Milwaukee, Oregon for 35 years and became a foreman. He eventually went back to China in 1889 but could not return to the United States because of the Chinese Exclusion Act in 1882. 3. Cherries may contain pesticides. Cherries is amongst the dirty dozens of fruit and vegetables that have the most pesticide residue. In one study, 30% of the cherries were found to contain a protein, which is a fungicide banned in Europe. On average, non-organic cherries have 5 types of pesticides residue on it, so you should wash the cherries thoroughly before eating. 4. Farmers are forced to waste the unneeded crop. America produces a lot of cherries, so much that farmers have to dump them. Yes, they dump them in a roadside ditch after a bumper harvest. In 2016, a Michigan farmer named Mark Santucci shared a picture where he dumped 14% of his sour cherry harvest on the ground to rot. Why? Because the government issued an order to recommendation to destroy the crops to maintain a higher price. 5. People eat a lot of cherries. Today, an average American eats 1.5 pounds of cherries, or 120 cherries. One cherry tree can produce 800 cherries, so a lot of people can eat cherries. That is a lot of cherries. 6. There are cherry pit spitting contests. There is a Guinness World Record of cherry pit spitting. Yes, spitting those bothersome pit of a cherry is a sport. It's very popular in Michigan. The most important contest is the annual International Cherry Pit Spitting Championship held in Eau Claire, Michigan. The record is now held by Brian Krause for a spit of 28.5 meters, or 93 feet. There's a kids contest too. Guess what? There's a cherry pie eating contest. It is held annually in Traverse City, Michigan. It is part of the National Cherry Festival where there are tons of cherry-related fun. The favorite part of it is the kids' cherry pie eating contest. 7. The cherry is the state fruit of Utah. The cherry became the official state fruit of Utah in 1997, thanks to a bunch of second graders of Millville Elementary School. These kids are hard workers and did a lot of research on the subject. For example, they found out that both sweet and tart cherries grow in Utah. Utah is the second largest sour cherry producing state in the nation, and 5th in the nation in the production of sweet cherries. 8. Cherries originated in a region between the Black and Caspian Sea. Sweet cherries originated in the region between the Black and Caspian Sea. The name cherry came from the Greek word kerausos, which is then believed to be named after the Turkish town of Sarasus. Turkey is still the #1 largest cherry producing country today. Turkey is followed by United States, Ukraine, then Russia. European colonists brought cherries to America. In 1847, a man named Henderson Llewellyn traveled from Iowa to West Oregon along the famous Oregon Trail and brought nursery stocks of cherry trees. Those trees became the first cherry trees planted in the Northwest. Ah Bing, the creator of the Bing cherry, worked as a foreman in the Llewellyn orchard. The picture here is the house where Ah Bing lived. 9. Cherries are drupes. Cherries are drupes, or stone fruits. They are not berries. Other drupes include coffee, mangoes, olives, and pistachios. Cherries are in the prune family. All members of the prune family, such as almonds, apricots, peach, and plums, are drupes. 10. The largest cherry is small. The biggest cherry is harvested by a farmer in Chile named Claudio Teigl in 2019. The fruit weighs about 24 grams, almost 1 ounce, which is about an AA-sized battery weight. It broke the previous 16-year record of a 21.7 gram cherry grown in Italy. That's not very big to us, but it's pretty big for cherries. Well, that's all for now. Thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe. If you are interested, please watch more of our content.